All right, welcome to Politics on the Wheel, and with me is Mr. Dane, a political scientist and a social analyst. And today we'll look at the redesigning of our naira and the roadmap to 2023 general election. 2 days to go, and we'll be looking at the things that some of the aspirants have promised Nigerians, and we'll look at based on statistics and turn up in the campaign which ended today. We'll be looking at who may possibly win this election comes Saturday. So, Mr. Dane, what do you have to say concerning this whole naira policy by Mr. President and CBN?
Okay. I also want to congratulate Nigerians that in the few days to come, Nigerians will be privileged to go into the polling unit and vote. And I want to assure Nigerians that as you are going, make sure you vote wisely and make sure you maintain laws and order so that we can have a good Nigerian with a democratically elected leaders. Well, you see, election usually comes with a lot of children, and 2023 election is not going to be a different one because it's as the same as what we have seen and witnessed in 2019 and 2015. So whenever election is coming in Nigeria, we used to witness the birth of policies, trials, policies collapse, and inbuild of a lot of political happenings, like the policy of the Naira redesign and the CBN Supreme Court ruling, the federal government refusal to accept the Supreme Court interrogatory injunctions. These are all politics that are ushering us into the 2023 election. As for me, the Naira redesign policy is one of the best policy this present government of President Muhammadu Buhari has brought forward for Nigeria for consideration. But the only problem we are having in this policy is whenever anything good comes to Nigeria, some kangaroos, I'm sorry to use that word because they call themselves political weaklings, will try to use the policy in order to either cause mayhem to some sectors of Nigeria or some persons in Nigeria or to Nigeria as a total. Like when this policy came, we all saw the good element of the policy that is going to give Naira strength and is going to make our Naira become a solid medium of exchange, and there won't be much Naira in circulations. People will go into e-banking, electronic banking and the rest, and we saw that politicians who stole a lot of money will not be privileged to change their money because of the restriction attached to the policy.
If I may comment,
okay.
Looking at the policy,
yes,
and you said it's a good policy by the administration.
Yes, it is.
But if you look at the way people are suffering to get cash, for example, today,
yes, that is why
I was at the filling station to get fuel.
Yeah.
It took me more than 2 hours. Not that there was no fuel.
That is why I'm coming in, because you see, policy is just like a building. You need a foundation, the building, the carcass, then the roofing. So they have made the policy. They need to make sure all the available resources for the implementation of the politics or the policy to be around so that they can implement it. But in this case, there are no availability of the apparatchik to implement this policy. The Nigerian Meeting Company is complaining that there are no enough papers to print money. Okay. And you have already made people to return almost all their savings to the bank, which the bank has henceforth transmitted to the Supreme Court, to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Okay. So it is commonsensical, it is a garbage in, garbage out. Since you have made people to at least deposit their money, you should bring 1/3 of their money in circulation so that they can be able to access this money. So when this whole thing came, we were thinking that CBN actually gave commercial bank money and commercial bank are trading with the money. But as time unfolds and situation unfolds, we discovered that given the CBN itself does not even have the new note. So and even if they have, with what we are hearing from the rumors and gist, they are also trading it directly with politicians in the CBN. You see where the implementation come in place. Muhammadu Buhari had Nigeria in mind. towards this project.
Okay.
But there are some elements in the CBN, there are some elements in the commercial bank, there are some elements in Nigeria that are bent on thwarting this policy so that we will not benefit from it. But I assure you that if this policy is well implemented, we are going to have maximum essential benefit from it, and it's going to profit Nigeria.
Do you think that this policy could actually reduce vote buying in this election?
Yes, actually it will go a long way in reducing vote buying. How do they used to buy vote? I have been to a lot of elections in this Nigeria, and I can tell you categorically that in the polling unit, some of the electorate that are not well informed sells their vote. How do they sell their vote? Is it not through exchange of cash? I give you cash, you go to the polling unit and you vote for my party. In this essence that given the politicians cannot access the cash.
But we are hearing now that they are also
doing transfer.
They are doing transfer. We are hearing now that they are doing. They are now buying the PVC from the people.
Yes.
So how do we even curtail that? Okay, for example, there is no money in circulation now, so therefore probably it will reduce some level of buying of this vote.
Yes.
Now let
me clear you with one expression.
Okay.
This the bimodal voting system the INEC brought for this election, it has solely told us that it will capture your face and your fingerprint. So once you buy this PVC from the people and the people do not come to the polling unit for their face to be captured or fingerprint, it's as good as you've done a trade in the Economic, but they call a lacquery trade. You have done a lacquery trade.
But then if you look at it from the other way, except the INEC choose not to compromise, because if they compromise, definitely they will be able to use those
this is technology we are talking about,
because they say they are going to electronically transmit the results.
Electronically transmitting the result is not even the matter. Accreditation, you have to accredit yourself first before you can vote. If there is no vote, what result are you going to transmit?
Like what we have in Oyo, where we have overvoting according to the courts, the technicality that leads to them sacking the incumbent governor.
INEC later came out and said the court does not understand the report they sent, because it's a new system and it's a technology based system. You know, most of these our judges, they went to school when there were no GSM, there were no modern technology, and once you present technology cloud for them, they find it very difficult to understand.
Okay, then let's move very fast because of our time.
Okay.
And now the emergency of Peter Obi, you know, it's like a revolution, like a tornado across Nigeria right now, and we see that it is kind of breaking the structure on ground already. Do you think that Peter Obi will unseat the status quo in Nigeria in this 2023 general election? I'm still talking about 2015, maybe because 2015 we really had a change, so maybe we should be thinking of having another change again. So do you think that he is going to change or maybe unseat the status quo?
I have to come a jury, I have to be factual here, because if I want to give my political analysis, I have to be empirical and scientific enough.
All right.
With what we have on ground in Nigeria now, Peter Obi is a very good candidate that is well accepted by the youth. But I don't see how he's going to scale through the mechanism of Nigerian electoral system. In terms of structure, is very fundamental in any election. Take it or leave it. And if you go to my village, you know, look, you tell an average old woman that go and vote, you tell, is it broom or umbrella? Because that is the two political party they know. And 1/3 of the population in my village, you know, Lukbo does not even have a mobile or multimedia phone where they access obedient and accept mama, picking and children. And given the House of Assembly candidate for Labour Party is somebody that cannot even feed 2 times a day, you see. So that means there is low level of mobilization and sensitization
at the local level.
At the local level.
So that will affect
his candidacy and the number of votes he will accumulate.
Okay.
Peter Obi is going to do well in the metropole. He's going to do well in the city, because in the city center, people are well informed. There are people that have system, computers, multimedia. Given some people go to the satellite to get the information directly from there, and they know the obedient movement is for real. But what about those people in the village that does not even know anything about the Labour Party? Labour Party is a party that has been in existence, but Peter Obi has come to rebuild and redefine it to become a force in this election. So I see Peter Obi emerging as a formidable third position.
Formidable third position.
Yes.
So we are looking at either having Atiku or Tinubu of APC first.
Yes.
Either of them.
Yes.
All right.
Considering what is on ground.
Okay.
The structure they had state governors, they had House of Assembly.
Okay.
They have
talking about having him at the third force right now. You know, it leads me to another question now. And there is this problem in PDP
Okay.
You know, you see Wike always attacking them. Or Governor Samuel Otom recently endorsed Peter Obi, and you know, and now in APC, it seems the same thing is happening because of the Muslim ticket. One, then secondly, we look at the issue of having some people not in support of Tinubu. For example, you look at the Minister of Information. There was something he said that day that if why are you trying to separate yourself from the party? You are not an independent candidate, so you have to convince me what your party has done for the last 7 years for me to vote you.
Yes.
Do you understand?